Carr. I'm the women's soccer coach. I am going into my 4th season here.
Hi, I'm Jacinda Chapman. I am a 5th year senior, and this will be my 5th year of soccer. And I play in the midfield. Yeah.
So we actually are bringing in quite a few new players this year to add to a pretty strong group of girls that we had returning from last season. I think that right now the outlook's pretty good. We're in the heat of preseason, so everybody's still figuring out who each other are and what their strengths and weaknesses are, so we can work towards those in the next few days. Our first scrimmage is on Friday, and then we have another one on Monday, and then our season officially kicks off on the 20th, on Saturday. We travel to Milligan in Tennessee.
Our first home game official is the 31st of August. It's against Carolina University.
Are most of the games against teams in West Virginia, or you mentioned Carolina? Do you get a chance to play schools from other parts of the country?
We do a lot, actually,
Okay.
because we are the only NAIA school in West Virginia. The majority of our games are, a lot of them, out of state. Our scrimmages and things like that, we tend to try to stay local because we do a lot of travel during the season. So our scrimmages are here, but we would be playing in-state schools such as Concord and Davis and Elkins. But the majority of our games, either they're home games that we host or they're out of state.
You've got a lot of running. It's a very physical sport. How many do you have on your roster? How many girls do you actually have on the team? And then how many are playing at one time?
There's usually 11 on the field, and then right now our roster is sitting at 20, so a little lower than we would like it to be. But I am much more about the talent of the individuals we have.
So
and not
you've got to
much
get out there
the
when you
size.
scrimmage, because otherwise you don't have enough,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, bringing people out of retirement is great. But yeah, so utilizing everybody this year for sure.
So when you talk about the kids that play on the team, are they your spread of local kids versus out-of-state kids? Do you pull a lot from West Virginia, or you say you're the only NAIA school in the state?
It really depends. So in the last couple of years, we've had a lot of in-state kids, and we've had a lot more local join the program. And then this year we have a few less than we normally would. We've got a few more international students coming in that are new, that are kind of switching that up a little bit for us. So I would say right now it's sitting closer to, like, as far as internationals versus more local, it's probably closer to 50-50 than it was, say, last year. We had quite a few more West Virginia local kids on our roster.
How do you recruit? Do you have an opportunity to go out and see a lot of soccer players in the area, or are you fortunate and they just enroll and there they are? You know?
A little bit of both, if I'm being honest. So these guys do a lot more of the legwork and the recruiting, in my opinion. I bring them in, and then I allow people to really talk to the current student athletes. I think that speaks leaps and bounds far more than me trying to sell the institution to somebody. If the girls that I have currently on the roster are having a good experience, then that's going to do a lot more for the recruiting process. So where we're located is good as far as getting out to see people. You know, there are a lot of good, talented players in West Virginia, but we're not far from the East Coast, where a lot of other talent is found as well. And then honestly, with the age of things being much more digital, it becomes a lot easier just to watch film, and a lot of recruits will send out video and their profiles, and that makes it a lot easier to recruit from a distance now.
Do you ever get kids with kind of culture shock where soccer is a major, sport in other countries when they come here, and it's not necessarily as big as it is in their home country?
Honestly, I haven't had too much of the culture shock as much as it is an adjustment from being away from home, and that's international recruits and people who are traveling a few states away. So we've got quite a few people that have come from a distance. You know, we've got one from Washington. We've got quite a few international kids, some from Spain and Mexico. I don't think it's as much culture shock as it is being away from home and making that adjustment to building a family here on our campus. But usually once you get past the first preseason and a couple weeks into season, they recognize that they have a family here with the team and the institution itself. A lot of the professors, the faculty, the staff, they're all very supportive. And so it's more about finding the niche where they're comfortable.
How would you compare your game now as compared to when you first came to Tech?
Stronger, faster. Honestly, when I came in, I I think that I have a lot of the same mentality from when I first got here. When I first got here, it was, I need to earn a spot, I want to be out there, I want to be a starter. And then my first game, it was kind of crazy to be involved in that level of play. It's really pushed me to be better. I have worked tremendously on my footwork. My fitness has stayed up. I'm a very endurance player. I've definitely stayed stronger, and I was happy to maintain the position that I played when I first got here to still play it now, and have maintained a pretty good starting spot, and I like where I play. Honestly, I think that I've grown a lot, but I don't know. I think that I still have a lot of my roots in my core in me.